What's up, guys? Really excited to have my good friend Matt Hernandez with us today. So Matt's an expert when it comes to boxing and when it comes to digital marketing. The second half of the podcast, he's going to fill you in, and so will I, on what you need to do in order to get your business started on social media, on the internet, and have a good path and make sure that you're successful online with your own business. Whether it's, you're just wanting to start something or you already have a business and you're not sure how to work it online, we lay everything out that you need. That's the second half. First half of the podcast, we're going to talk about the fight game. I recently had a jiu-jitsu match. We're going to talk about that. Matt's a boxing expert, so we kind of break down what went on with Floyd and Connor and talk about all that. It's a lot of fun. I'm really jazzed for you guys to check this out. Again, Matt's a really good friend of mine, so I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy him as well. Again, as always, thanks so much for coming through. I'm really excited for you guys to peep this podcast. Hope you enjoy it. Shoot me some feedback. Thank you. We're back again. My name's Stuart. This is my buddy Matt Hernandez, and this is Not Your Mother's Podcast.
Ooh.
That's good shit, dude.
You do that every podcast?
Every night and every podcast.
Oh my god.
For those who maybe can't see but are just listening, this is Jameson we're drinking. And I'm pretty sure that's all I'm ever going to drink on the podcast. Jameson Caskmates. If you like regular Jameson, that's fine. But this is way better. It's like getting like I know vintage is for wine. I don't know what you call it for whiskey. But like it's like getting more aged whiskey, but you're not paying that $100 for a bottle or something. That's how it tastes.
I'll tell you what it's like for me if you want to know.
Yes, as a Jameson beginner.
I feel like I should be gargling that in the morning when I wake up after I brush my teeth or
it's
something.
It's not even that high. It's 40%. Like the Jim Beam in the kitchen is 43%. It's even more.
Oh.
So.
And yeah, I can't.
So I think what's funny to note here is that I've only been drinking for a couple years.
Yeah.
This guy not the same. So I think that's a good one right there. But that's happened with more recently. That's been happening with a lot of my friends where either I don't drink anymore, or I don't drink as much, and I'm kind of turning it up in my early 30s. So just a little bit of a background. I've known Matt. Now I got to think about that.
It's the drink.
4 years. It's been a while because I've been at ProSite 3 years in October, so it'll be 3 years. 3 years then, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, 3 years.
3 years or 4 years? What year is it? 2017?
Before then.
No, right. 2017, and I got there. Yeah, 2014 is when I would have got there. Yeah, almost 3 years. Damn.
About 3 years, yeah.
So, it's been a good friend. We've done a lot of marketing talk. I feel like we did something together in business, but we didn't really, did we? We didn't really we had plans. And, and we worked on a few things here and there, but nothing.
Things just fell through, but yeah.
It's good. He's been a real good friend. Been around for a lot of things. He tried really hard to get me into boxing, and man, I can hear that truck really loud. He tried real hard to get me into boxing, and I had fun with it. You know, I did. Never sparred, thank goodness. This is bad enough. I'm not trying to make it worse. Never sparred, and definitely hit the bag a lot.
Yeah.
Form's terrible. I never could figure out an uppercut to save my life. It was bad. It was real bad. It was good cardio for me.
Hey man, you take that to the club though, you're killing me every night.
For sure. Yeah, I could have used that a few times. That's for damn sure. Yeah, my dance moves aren't. Well, you've seen them. You know it's pretty bad. So, but yeah, I've known Matt for a few years, and one thing that Matt and a couple other people out here in California have taught me is that it's not nearly as much about longevity when it comes to friendship as it is just about the deepness of the bond. There's people that I've known for a lot longer than I've known this guy I'm not nearly as close with, so this is a weird start. I wasn't trying to go there already. Have another drink.
Drinking so bad after all, man.
At any rate, we've connected on a lot of levels. I think when you work out with someone, you have consistently, you're doing some kind of a fitness routine with someone. That's a special type of bond that I think is it's really. I think it's important for everyone to have.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's good to, and whether it's just one person or a few people that you like to work out with, I think that's a really cool thing. It's something that it's a great bond. So, anyways, speaking of working out, I'll just talk about me for a minute, and then you talk about you. Is it on this one? I don't know if you can see my leg here, but I have just taken a 1.5 weeks notice to have a jiu-jitsu match, and very inadvisable. I actually got to meet Joe Rogan a couple days ago. And
is he the one that got you into it?
No, yeah, I wish. Right?
Oh, okay. I was like, man, Joe, how dare
No,
you?
but it is a 10th Planet match, so it's his
Okay.
jiu-jitsu, with him and Eddie Bravo. But
Yeah.
so I've been training for the last 3 or 4 days. I'll be training again tonight around 5 p.m. And man, I'm so sore right now. But I did get to speak with Joe, and when he heard what I had agreed to on such short notice, and that I don't really have any formal training at this point. I mean, I've rolled here and there with my friend Emma and with my client Shane, but he said, yeah, in a week, and I was trying to chop it up with him a little bit, and he was on his phone or whatever, and when I said 10th Planet and that I had a match in a week and I hadn't really trained much, his head snapped back. He was very interested at that point. And he just, he said, well, good luck, man. I was hoping he'd give
have
me...
you heard of CM Punk?
Because that's what you're going to look like out there. Luckily, the fellow that I'm up against doesn't have much of any experience either, although he is a police officer, so that should make things a little bit interesting.
He might have some type of training, right?
They should, yeah, takedown training, so I just got to watch for the double leg, and I'll be all right, because that's what he's going to go for, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Where's he training? Do you know?
Same place. So we both have the guys that own the 10th Planet Gym in Marietta where we're training. They're kind of the co-owners of the gym, and so they're each kind of trying to prove like, oh, I'm a better trainer than you are, kind of thing.
Oh, that's
so,
kind of
yeah,
fun.
it is fun.
That's
it's fun for
fun.
them, not so much fun for me.
Yeah.
I've never I've been sore. I think the sorest I can remember being was as a teenager, or the most sore. I don't think sorest is a word.
No, definitely
It's
not.
kind of some
Drink
kind
some
of
more.
dinosaur, yeah. But the most sore I can recall being was after going skiing and not doing any kind of stretching, and like skiing all day when I was a teenager, and I came home and holy shit, I was super sore. That's the only that's the only thing I can compare this to, because I just walk around and I'm like, I went and got a massage yesterday. I'm hurting still. So but to bring that back around, I'm sore and I'm doing things that I'm trying to learn new things that I cannot wrap my head around yet. But I'm telling you, there's a kind of a strange like liberation in this. It's freeing to be able to just to roll with someone else and to try to learn. And it's a animalistic isn't the right word, but like it's a very primal kind of thing. When you've rolled for a while and you're trying to pick something up, and then something clicks and you do something, you slap a tricep out of the way, or you pass guard really smooth, you put your knee over the other knee, and you get to side control really, not easily, but you do it really smooth. We've done it, and you do it in other ways in your life, like you're doing SEO and all of a sudden something just clicks, or you're doing a marketing campaign and on the third or fourth client that you work on, bam, something clicks. It's that click. But when you have it on a wrestling mat or in a boxing gym, it's a primal kind of thing, where I feel like it's the melding of physical and mental, and when those two come together and then they click, I think it's a pretty amazing thing.
Oh, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, from a boxing standpoint, from footwork or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, or just even noticing like the little details in your opponent, and like understanding why they're doing something, or understanding like or thinking to yourself, I don't know why he's doing that. Like, I don't understand why you can't pick up on that. It's definitely a humbling thing because of all the struggle it is to try to get it down.
Humbling, yeah.
Like
absolutely.
When instincts are telling you to do one thing and you kind of gotta go against that.
Yeah,
almost you
tough.
gotta unlearn what you think you already know, type of deal. Like that's one of the hardest battles. It always is battling yourself, no matter what sport, if it is life, if it is marketing, whatever the case.
Yeah.
That's always your toughest opponent is yourself. I mean, I believe that. And then kind of tying back to what you were saying earlier, when you work out with someone, or whether it be rowing or boxing or whatnot, even just lifting weights or trying to pick up cardio, whatever that is, you see the person next to you struggling.
Yep.
You see the grimace on their face. You hear the, like I can't, but I don't want to tell you I can't.
Right.
But you should know that I help. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Picking up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're able to reach out to somebody because they've been through the same thing, they understand it. That's when they don't leave you hanging because they understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I know how it feels to struggle. Let me just tell you, you can do this. You can do it. You were yelling at me,
thing.
you know. It's like, okay, maybe I can do it, and then maybe you just help me up
Just
just a little bit. And then it starts to click. And the next week you go there doing that exercise again. You notice you're putting on 5 more pounds, and you feel great about it.
Yeah,
so,
it's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of, then I guess we'll get into something that I've heard, and I don't know. Like, this is the 3rd podcast that I've filmed. None of them are live yet, so I don't know when this one will go live. Maybe we can do some predictions if we want. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of course, at the time that we're at, this is, what is today, the 20th or the 21st? It's the 20th, I think.
August 20th. Yeah.
Today is August 20th, my dad's birthday. And
birthday.
thank you. And in less than a week, not only will I be having a jiu-jitsu match, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are going to be having their bout in a boxing match in Las Vegas. And the thing that I want to ask you about, just because you're, ever since I've known you, I've known that, you hang out with Floyd and you text each other.
Floyd's my guy. Yeah,
if he needs something, he's like, yo, Matt, I can't get this down.
He's been busy, man.
At any rate.
After he makes a few mil, he's just like too good for me. But
that money team mentality.
Yeah.
So Matt has definitely followed Floyd's career and been been a fan for a long time. Not recently. It's been a long time thing.
Yeah.
But something that I keep hearing commentators and I don't know if Paulie, but a lot of different people saying that Floyd has a downloading process where he'll box you and you might, you not necessarily tag him, but you might get to him a little bit. You think, well, what happens is that move that got to him, he figures out, he sees exactly where you went, how you moved, what you did, and then when you try it again, you can't because he's downloaded it into his brain, so to speak, and then he shuts it down.
That's the absolute truth,
Yeah.
man. He's done that for so long, and you gotta think also the background that he comes from.
Okay.
His father was a fighter, his uncle was a fighter, and these are the people that have had his back ever since he was growing up. So they've shared the details. Like
Gotcha.
they're letting him know this is what you have to look for.
Gotcha.
And so, I mean, anytime you're practicing anything since the age of 6, come on now.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean?
That's crazy.
But yeah, Floyd is just he's a wizard when it comes to that stuff, man. That's why his defense is so great, is because he does notice all these things.
Yeah.
And you might give him a couple different looks. I've seen guys go in there and try to give him different looks, whether it be with feints or even switching from southpaw to orthodox, and he just picks it up so well, and he'll make you look silly.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen clips of that.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
definitely true. Floyd does have that ability.
That's crazy. So I mean, I'll say it right now, and if people that are watching this, listening to this,
do they know how big of a Conor fan you are?
Well, if they know me, then yeah. And
okay.
I'm assuming these first few podcasts is mostly going to be people that know me. Well, in fact, you can't see it. This is
oh
this
my
is a
gosh.
this is if you're just listening, I'm just putting it up to the camera. This is a little.
Fucking nothing.
You pooped. So that's a little Conor pop vinyl I have. But yeah, someone gave that to me for Christmas a few years ago. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Conor. I don't. This guy will tell you. Anyone that really follows MMA and boxing will tell you if they know me. I'm a fan, and that's it. Like, I haven't watched all the fights. Like, I haven't seen every Conor fight. I'll try to. It happens a lot. I'll chop it up with MMA people, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, remember this fight?" I'll be like, "Yeah, that's a great fight." I probably remember. Oh, where was that? Where was that fight?
Yeah.
In America. So I don't.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, and then it'll be some shit in Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil.
But I'm a fan. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm an avid fan, but the Conor embodies this whole law of attraction thing and kind of speaking things into existence kind of thing, and he does it well. Does he have a chance against Floyd? I've said from the beginning I don't think he can beat Floyd. But I'm telling you right now, dude, the more shit I watch, and and I don't mean the leaked footage, and I really feel like that's all publicity, that whole bit. And then there was and then they was it a breakdown? I don't know, but it was Brendan and Joe, and I know you're not a huge fan of Brendan, and I don't blame you. But Brendan and Joe were talking about, the fight, and they talked about that Floyd got knocked out in sparring, but that was bullshit.
Right.
It was like they found the Twitter account, and it was just one random ass Twitter account that was tweeting about it. That's it. That's the only source.
Yeah.
And it was like a stock photo or some shit.
Yeah.
So it was just.
And what was weird too was they were saying Zab Judah, who's also you know him. He's he's been a champion himself. He's a phenomenal boxer. And when actually him and Floyd when they had their match several years ago, obviously. Zab was up on a few cards.
Oh wow!
He won rounds.
Damn.
From Floyd. Yeah, he's super quick. They know each other pretty well.
Right.
Yeah. So, but they said that Zab was the one that knocked him out.
Right.
During training.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not part of the camp.
Right.
He's not a sparring partner.
Right.
For this.
Exactly.
So it's like, why was Zab even there?
Right.
Like,
he might have been hanging
he might
out
have
at the
snuffed
gym.
him somewhere, like in the back alley, maybe. But nah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, he wasn't even.
Yeah, it wasn't even
there.
around.
So it was funny, but
it is.
Yeah.
But that's. I mean, I'm saying all that aside, all the leaked footage and Paulie and Connor are shit talking each other and all that shit, like all that stuff aside, like just watching Connor, and not the open workout video, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is that, dude? Is that a thing? This let me try to describe it for anyone that's listening. Not here. It's as much as Connor wants to talk about monkeys, he looked like a monkey. He was just swinging his arms forward. I don't know. Is that a? Tell me, is that something that you've seen in training?
No, I've never seen anyone do that in training. I have seen something similar.
Okay.
There's a dance move that's called the Bernie. I don't know if you've seen Weekend at Bernie's. It comes from that movie where it's basically a dead body that they're
yes, okay.
pushing around.
Yeah.
And so there's a guy, you can look up Chris Brown or whatever, that kind of does the same thing. But Connor
God,
obviously wasn't doing it as a dance move. No. He was doing it to loosen up his limbs. And I remember Connor does a whole bunch of that, that motion.
He does a lot of stuff
training.
that someone that's MMA or boxing would see as weird stuff, or any normal person. But that is some weird shit. But it's switching it up. It's I don't know. I don't say it gives him an advantage necessarily. But I think if anything's going to give you an advantage over Floyd, it's going to be showing him something
unorthodox.
Yeah, showing him something that no one else is going to show him. And Connor's definitely going to do that. Like I have no doubt of that.
When you brought up Connor and why you were a fan and how he talked about he's an example of this law of attraction type of stuff. I mean, obviously that right there is amazing. I believe in that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course I respect Connor. I do like Connor. I'm not always rooting for him. Sometimes I go against him, but
always rooting for him.
But no, he's obviously a great talent. The guy's a warrior, man. He will fight just about anybody.
Well, and now he has, or will have in a week.
After this one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than a lot of other people can say in their career. And he does have this extreme belief in himself.
Mm-hmm.
But what gets me about when you talk about people like Brendan and not just because I don't always agree with the guy, but
I didn't mean to call you out. That slipped out my bad.
There goes any sponsorship or anything. But hey,
I'm trying to pump mine.
Yeah. So. No, I mean, and they always mention that he has this crazy belief in himself. Mm-hmm. But what professional athlete does not? Like, if you could tell me that Floyd doesn't have the same type of insane belief in himself, then you're wrong. I mean, obviously he does.
Absolutely. And to speak to that, what I think is interesting, and this is something that I say this often, and again, I'm just, as far as actually training MMA, and not necessarily MMA, just jiu-jitsu, I'm just starting. I know next to nothing. But the thing that gets me about people who are fans of MMA, or maybe just want to shit talk MMA or boxing or any solo sport, is, in my opinion, and I'm not necessarily just referring to me, I'm referring to people that I see, whether it's Floyd or Connor or anyone out there that's going into what's going to be a fight, whether it's mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, boxing, if you don't have an insane belief, there's no team. It's not a team sport. Like, well, I shouldn't say that's incorrect. There's everyone that's there in your camp, and there's your coaches, and sometimes family members are involved. But when the rubber meets the road, when the shit hits the fan, it's just you and just one other person that's in that ring or in that octagon. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a crazy, insane belief in yourself, you're done. Go ahead.
Well, it's not only when you're in the ring. Mm-hmm. Okay, for octagon, let's just say it's a championship match in MMA rules, or at least UFC. You're fighting for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. You go back to your corner. In boxing, you're fighting for 3 minutes. You go back to the corner. You still have to have that belief in yourself. You're relying on your team there, your coaches, your cut men, and all of them to do their job. And also you have to trust them also, because they're seeing things from the outside looking in.
You can't see
when you're in the trenches, all you can see is punches coming at you. Sometimes it's too much. Like, it's almost like drowning, honestly. Like you'll start to I
mean, I'm not saying that for boxing. I'm saying that my coach was just laying on me. He wasn't doing hardly anything yesterday. Yeah, just laying on top of me, and it was our last roll, and I was just like, dude, I need to tap. You can't tap. Don't be a bitch and tap just because I'm laying on you. Like, I'm not submitting you. Like, I can't breathe. Like, his chest was right here. I couldn't breathe, and the only way for me to breathe was just to push him up off me. I didn't even have the strength to do that. Anyways, I didn't mean to interject.
No, that's okay.
But it did feel like I was drowning.
That's how it is.
Claustrophobic kind of feeling.
With any fighter, especially the longer it goes.
For sure, you're more
all that stuff
weary.
is being tested, and you don't really think clearly. Let's be honest. It's very difficult to think clearly in that sort of way. So you are kind of relying on your team to get you back on track during that minute of rest.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's always a team thing, I believe.
Well, my thought on that is what I hear, often is like, oh, that guy. There's a lot of shit talking, and especially now that you've got, I think, from their sports, two of the greatest ever shit talkers. Right. You've got Conor and Floyd.
Right.
Although I don't think their shit talking has meshed well. I think it's been at the press conference. I think it's been there's just two completely different of things
styles
going on. Yeah. But seeing Conor and Nate, or seeing who would be someone that Floyd would match up with well in boxing, that would be a shit talker.
I don't think anyone's ever
outdone him. Not someone outdone him, but someone that has the same kind of style.
Probably could talk. Paulie,
could
talk. Adrian Broner,
of all people.
He's a talker.
So I'm saying, when you see that kind of interaction, and you see like, man, this guy is just an asshole, and he loves himself. You have to. That's something that it just bugs the hell out of me when I hear people say like, man, Conor's such an asshole. I'm not saying he's not an asshole. Don't get me wrong. Or I'm not saying Floyd's not, or anyone else is not. We've all been assholes at different times in our lives.
Yeah.
But in those press conferences, and in those moments where they're doing all this shit talk and all this peacocking and stuff like that, if they're not doing that, then that means they don't really believe in themselves, in my opinion. And I wouldn't say across the board, because there are some guys that are the quieter type and still go in and do work and knock people out. But
you gotta see it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't know. That's something that just bugs me. Is like, oh well, he's an asshole because he's like, yeah, it's an act. It doesn't mean that he's an asshole. It means that this is how he gets through this, and this is how he processes this, and this is how he says, hey, I believe fully in myself, and fuck everyone else. Like, that's everyone's got a different style. I get that, but I feel like, if it's me and I do have something coming up in a week, I can't have a thought in my head that says, maybe I'll win, maybe I'll lose. Like, I don't think you can have that kind of mentality. I think it's got to be, no, I'm going to win because I'm the best.
Yeah.
And then you lose and you're quiet about it, and you go back to work and you figure out what you did wrong, and you come back and you lose again, and you go back to work and do some more, you fix what's wrong. But I don't think you can have anything in your mind that says, that says there's a possibility I could lose.
Yeah.
I don't think your mind can go there.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that the mind is stronger than the body, and the more that I fuck around with this jiu-jitsu training, the more I'm learning that. Like, there were definitely times towards the end of my training yesterday, which was about 2 hours long, where I felt like, man, I was just so tired before we would do like 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
I'd be so tired. But towards the end there, I'd see spots. I'd see an opportunity where I could put my knee, where I could put my arm, where I could cinch something in. And that was, that was my mind being stronger than my body, because my body was like, I'm done with this. And my cardio is shit right now. So, anyways.
I feel the same whether it is boxing or MMA,
Mm-hmm.
jiu-jitsu, it's you always do want to have an open mind,
Yeah.
because there are going to be opportunities, and one of
Excuse me.
the best things that you could do is to just kind of, after all the bullshit, after all the talking,
Yep.
smack and everything, you go back into your camp, you go back into your room, you go back into whatever, your corner, and you're really just talking to yourself at that moment.
Oh yeah.
Now you're not saying, Connor, I'm better than you, you can never beat
Right.
me. You're not saying that. And this is something I've learned. Like you said, I followed Floyd's career for a long time.
Yeah.
And he never takes an opponent lightly. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if he's...
I've seen that. This is the first time I've seen, him in this light, in a competition light.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've really
And
from the
you're
beginning.
watching him now when he's 40 years
Right.
old. So he's been doing this
forever.
And I mean, obviously, doing it forever, he's been able to see just about every type of look you can. Whether it's a dirty fighter, whether it's just the strongest fighter,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's someone that's supposed to be even as faster than he is,
Right.
something like that. He's done it all, whether, orthodox, southpaw, didn't matter. And so when people tell me that they don't like Floyd because of the things that he says, and he will get knocked out by Connor because he's taking Connor too lightly,
He's not. Are people saying that he's taking him lightly?
That's what I
Really?
hear, yeah. And I think it's more of a hope. And again, these are these are
maybe.
casual
Yes.
fans. So
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're a casual fan, like the footage that I'm seeing, Floyd is not like there's shit talking. They did that during the what I can't even think what that's called.
press conference?
Press conferences. They did all that.
Yeah.
But like when that's like a behind the scenes or after, Floyd's like, no, he's a good fighter. Like it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. Well, see, people are saying that's Floyd selling the fight. So they think
that's
this
from the heart.
loud this loud,
Right.
like, I'm gonna kick your ass,
Yeah.
fuck you type deal.
Right.
They're thinking that's Floyd being Floyd, and when
then
he's
this
calm and saying, oh, it'll be a good fight, that's him trying to sell you the fight. I'm like, wait
It's
a
the
second.
same person, yo.
Wait a second.
Wow, dude.
This guy that's giving all this respect to Connor is not why you're buying the fight. You're
Fuck
buying
no,
because
dude.
this guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because
So-
Connor's got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All excited. Absolutely, dude. And this is why I really thoroughly enjoyed especially the second, and I really hope they do a third Connor Nate Diaz fight.
Oh, I heard
That was just the second fight. They were just, to me, I had goosebumps the whole time. They're such good showmen.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's like, of course it was a fight and that was great, but to also have included with that these incredible showmen, like, man, that was just terrific. And that's what I'm looking for with Connor and Floyd. I think they've both been incredible showmen, and Floyd's had a lot more experience than Connor has. Absolutely. I don't mean boxing. I just mean, like, being a showman. He's had a lot more experience than Connor has.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, whatever happens, it's gonna be exciting. And then, like Joe said on his podcast, what did he say? He posted yesterday. He reposted something. It was a picture of Connor, and he said, "I want to believe." That's what Joe said.
Oh man.
But he said, like, I want to see the unexpected, and that's what everyone's tuning in to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's been Floyd's career, not the unexpected, but he's made tons of money off people wanting to see him lose, and him obviously
that's
not
when
losing.
he started making his money.
Yeah.
When he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he
yes.
wasn't this guy. He wasn't Money
That
Mayweather.
persona.
And he didn't get a lot of play. I mean, obviously he was with the same promoter
Mm-hmm.
at the time as Oscar De La Hoya, and De La Hoya was
so he was bringing in
that
the
was,
dope.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was their golden
That's their
goose
moneymaker.
type of deal. So everyone else was just
Floyd's
like,
kind of by the
okay,
way.
your time
I
will
did
come.
not know this. That's interesting.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting too. So one time, this is when Floyd, like, when it hit him, like, I gotta change this.
Right.
He was flying over Vegas, and at the time, buildings everywhere, yada
For sure.
yada. And you see this huge photo, like a rollout
Yeah.
of Britney Spears,
Mhm.
and he was like, "That should be me."
Oh hell yeah.
And then, out of all the things that made him like, I gotta change,
There
it was
you go.
Britney Spears. So it was like, yeah. So then he ended up, buying out his own contract under this guy, and then just
Doing it himself.
started doing it himself. He's
Wow.
one of the only boxers that you'll see that has that opportunity.
It's all him.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Nike, there's
Yeah.
no Adidas, there's no other sponsor.
Wow.
It's all the money
Money
team
team.
and Mayweather Promotions.
That's
And
incredible.
yeah, so it's great, man. It's great for him. I think it taught a lot of boxers some things, and
Yeah.
honestly, I think it even helped
good for the
Connor.
sport.
I think it helped Connor.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
You know,
Because he has freedom. Like
Yeah.
some other boxer, you know, if he was trying to start shit with him, would have to go through. There's a lot more. What you call it, contractual obligations or something where, like, well, you can't just say he's gonna do it. But Floyd can say, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He can just say yes. I mean, and there's a lot more. Where you're gonna fight. There's a lot more details involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure there'd be a lot more paperwork with someone else, or make it a lot more difficult to make the fight happen.
Yeah.
But this fight took a while. I heard rumors here and there, and then I didn't. At the beginning, I thought it was total bullshit, and
yeah,
then
I
it
didn't
was
think
like,
it was gonna happen.
where is it? Is it at? It's not at T-Mobile, right? Or is it at
It
T-Mobile?
is at T-Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they reserved a date for it, which was months ago. It was in
Yeah.
May,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in May. It was in June. Because Floyd always fights in May, and it was in June, right?
Okay.
I think that's what it was. But they there was a big hullabaloo, so to say, in my redneck terminology, that there was this bought out date by the UFC or by Mayweather Promotions or something way earlier in the year, and so when that fell through or when that turned out to not be,
passed,
I was like, okay,
oh,
well,
this isn't happening.
fuck it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I was one of those people that didn't believe it either.
I didn't,
I was just like, no, there's no way. I didn't think Dana would want that first and foremost. He already had like
But
a whole division
Dana-
that was like,
Dana will do
let us
anything
fight.
for Connor, though.
I know, and that's
Those are my favorite
Yeah.
memes on the internet the last few weeks. Is
it's
just
so
he
bad.
loves him so much, dude.
It's so bad. And it's like, man, he was the same with Ronda. He was the same.
Yeah,
It
it's
was just
true.
like, golly, like
Yeah, dude.
enough already.
Yes, dude. Give him a rest.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's what sucks. I'm like, dude, you're like, why don't you do that for the rest of your guys? Like,
You got to get it.
you got champions
Yeah, dude.
in the UFC that are like
They're starving.
fucking phenomenal fighters. Where you're just like, I don't see nobody beating this person. Nobody's gonna beat this person. Look at John Jones.
Yeah, dude.
Nobody's gonna beat John Jones.
No.
Not even Brock Lesnar. I said it. Yeah.
No, you don't think so?
Brock ain't gonna beat John. Nope.
Damn.
Nope. Brock is not gonna beat John.
I wouldn't say he could beat him, but I would feel like who else? When we talked about Gus, maybe Gus would have.
Gus
a
Finn
chance.
will give him his best
Yeah,
shot
you
at
think
that
he'd be
weight.
better than Brock.
Yes.
Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Brock can juice though. He can get away with it, apparently.
But
he's
I mean,
fighting. That's the thing to me though. Is like if that's gonna be a thing. So we're gonna do fight talk now.
I guess
if that's gonna be a thing, and he's in WrestleMania or whatever right now, right? Like I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's no way he's in that and not juicing. So how long does it take? What is it like? Like does it take a week? Does it take a few months? Like if he wants to really do this, he's gonna have to stop soon. You know what I mean? If they really want him to do it.
I mean, I'm sure that they're just waiting for maybe contract obligations to be over at WWE.
Gotcha. Yeah, but
And then,
I'm gonna have to check. But I think isn't it WME that owns UFC now, right? I heard them talking the other day. WME owns them and Pro Bull Riding, and I thought they owned WWE as well.
I don't know.
But since we don't have a Jamie Vernon, we can't look it
Yeah,
up.
look that up.
Jamie.
No, I think you might be right.
I think
You might
they
be- that
do.
does
So
sound-
for me,
that does
like,
sound right.
I think that fucks contracts. Like, oh, who cares? Like, we own both of them. We'll make it happen. That's my. I mean, fuck the fans, really. Fuck the. I'm
I
not
don't know,
saying
man.
fuck
I don't,
them,
I
but
don't
like,
know the details. I'm sure there's like a board or something that's got to go through.
Right, but I'm saying
checking this entity. And
right,
this entity,
I
even though
agree.
You guys own it all.
But I feel like if they both own it, or if they own both,
Yeah.
then they can make it happen a lot sooner than later.
Yeah, they probably can.
Yeah, you know.
And I mean, I feel like we might have seen some examples of that because of the stuff that's going on now, where the UFC is like, hey, you can go ahead and fight. You can do boxing if you want to. Like, it's gonna
go
just
for
bring more for us.
It is.
Me personally, I'd like to see them be more consistent on that, though. I mean,
It would be nice.
you do have some strikers in MMA that are under the UFC umbrella, and they can go.
But see, I feel like
bang.
now the undercard's going to be all boxing. Am I correct?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
it is.
I feel like that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I thought me personally, I thought they were gonna pull like a Bellator type of situation and be like, hey, we've got.
I think it should be all the same fights. I think it should be boxers and MMA fighters. That's what I think it should be.
That might
That's
be
what-
something in the future they're working.
Yeah,
on.
no, that'd be great. But I think
Yeah.
for this one, like, I think they could have. I don't know if more people would buy it. No, I bet you more people will buy it if you picked a few big MMA names, whether it's UFC or Bellator, It wouldn't be Bellator.
But okay, so here, check this out.
Ah.
So we already know people are gonna buy Conor and Floyd, right?
For sure.
That's a done deal. That's a given. So why don't we just let them pay for this? Let this build up, where then you could do the team versus team, and we just make another millions and buys or whatever.
Tons.
Because you do have a few UFC fighters right now that are actually going to get their license or even just training.
Yes, and I think Nate got his as well, didn't he? I'm almost
Nate
positive.
did.
Yeah, Nate got his.
I think only in Nevada, not California yet, or it might be the opposite. But yeah, and then we've got Jose Aldo, who's now in Riverside.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, Riverside.
He's in Riverside.
We need to go see what's up with him, dude. Let's go.
Dude, yeah, that is the camp that he's training with is legit one of the best camps in all of boxing right now.
Damn.
Yeah, he's training with Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, who's his little brother, still undefeated.
Wow.
Yeah, and just an exciting fighter, and he's now doing what Floyd is doing. There was, yeah. So he was out for trying to contract disputes and things like that. So he was trying to get out of his situation.
Oh yeah.
Ended up, waiting for that to be done with. There was a whole battle. I think he was out for maybe almost 2 years, like a year and a half of nothing. No.
Just because of contract, nothing. He wasn't injured or anything like that. It was just money and bullshit.
Exactly.
Damn. That
Young
sucks.
guy too. And it's like, man, and then you have all these big names that are starting to come up now that Floyd is gone.
Right.
So this is like a good time for him to be in there. Exactly.
Damn.
So there was actually rumors after that contract was done or whatever, he was a free agent. So anybody that's anybody in boxing is like, hey, come sign with us.
Yeah.
Even Floyd. Floyd would be there watching him train. He's got a history with that family because obviously Floyd goes way back in the boxing history.
For sure.
So he knows them. Actually, Robert Garcia was a champion at the same time Floyd was a champion.
Wow.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 16, 17 years ago. Yeah. And now he's training his younger brother, so he's just crazy. Hey, I want to sign him or whatnot. Yeah. It turns out he starts his own.
That's badass. Yeah. Love it. Good
and
for
so,
him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's great. And now Jose came in there.
And this is in Riverside?
Yeah.
That's down the street, bro. We need to go.
I know. I've always wanted to.
Well, let's just fucking do it, dude.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks.
Let's do it.
Is there like a good time to go that you know, or?
I don't, but I'm sure we'll find something
Let's
out.
fucking stalk some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, the boxing out there right now, it's huge.
It's lit right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, these definitely. I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan. It's one of the best camps.
All right,
to be
dude.
in.
We need to go check it out.
Yeah. So what was I saying?
My bad. Everyone's getting boxing license.
Okay. Yeah. Jose comes in there, and dude, I don't know if you've seen the footage. He just comes in there.
Not.
He just has one bag, and he's just like. They speak a little bit different dialects.
Yes, yeah.
And so they're just like, oh, hey, Robert Garcia does not know who he is. His sons do, though. He's like, Dad, this is a big deal. Right?
All right.
So he's just playing it cool. He's like, oh, okay, so you do UFC? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was the champ for a few years.
Didn't even tell him I was a champ.
Really?
They had to bring it up. Like, he was unbeaten for, like, years.
Yeah, it was.
Like, wasn't it over a decade?
It was a lot. You told me that, and you're the one that told me that, dude. It was a long,
he held
long
the belt for nobody was touching this guy while he was champion.
And looking back now, I feel bad, dude, because he lost it like that.
Exactly, but that's exactly what made him do this. So now he's there, and he says, "So I hear you were like the man for a long time, and then all of a sudden, you just got hit like that."
And that was it.
And he was like, "That's what happened. Like." Yeah. I got hit. I got caught. And they didn't ask him too much.
I really think Conor just got in his head. I really think that's.
I really think so too, because he just went straight forward and you got caught. That's all it was. Yeah. And remember Conor used to say like precision beats timing every day.
Yep.
Now, if you watch Floyd at all, you'll know that that's exactly right, because that's what Floyd does. People will tell you he's not a heavy hitter. He has no punching power. He's got some very brittle hands, to be honest.
Right.
Which is why
that's
people were like,
saying
these gloves going to 8 ounces might not be a good idea or whatever.
Here's the thing. I feel like, and this is gonna be maybe silly to have on the podcast because the fight's gonna be over by the time this goes out.
I got into that. I forgot we were on a podcast.
Sorry, what were you saying? Continue.
I don't know. You did.
I derailed you. My bad.
What were you saying though?
No, I was saying that it's just I think Conor has that left hand, dude.
Yeah.
It's Thor's hammer, really.
Uh-huh.
My thing is, I would love, because I'm a Conor fan, I would love to see, maybe he won't knock Floyd out, but I'd love to see him land that and just see what happens. But here's the thing, Floyd's been making people miss for so long.
It's not okay.
And
Here's what I bring up
with
to
the
people.
lack of Conor's training,
Mm-hmm.
not just now, but like for his entire life. Like I don't see how Floyd. I feel like Conor's gonna land some punches, but I don't feel like they're gonna be that straight left or those rockets that everyone's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some body, maybe something here and there, but like I don't see Floyd going through months of training for Conor specifically and not knowing. And again, Conor comes in and gives you the unexpected. That's a consistent thing for him.
Yeah.
I don't see how he can land something solid enough to knock Floyd out. I just don't think.
All right, so here's my deal,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not one of those boxing fans that are like disrespectful to MMA because, and I mean I'm not a professional, never been a professional.
But they've come out in droves lately.
Yeah, and
Which
I
is
mean,
fine.
and it might be because I've been hit.
Right.
I've sparred.
You've trained.
But then maybe it's because I've also I've had opportunities to roll before with Emma and whatnot, and then it's just like you're close to the situation,
Yes.
so you know what they kind of go through also. You know what I mean? It's just like, so I'm not here to say one is better than the other.
For sure.
It's my personal love. Like try jiu-jitsu. I like it a lot. Do I
Right.
love it? Nah, because I'm comparing it to what I do love, which is boxing. So
whole different
feelings.
Animal.
But so do I feel like Conor has a shot? Yeah.
It's a fight.
Because
Anything
it's
can
a fight.
happen.
Do I think he's gonna land anything significant? He probably could. He has a longer reach. He's much younger. He is agile. I've seen him move lateral. I've seen him.
Right.
He has great movement.
He does.
And you've seen me. We've been to fights together watching
Yeah,
Conor. I'm
dude.
just like, oh, he's boxing great right now.
Yes,
That's when I get into Conor. I'm like,
hell
oh,
yeah.
oh, he gonna sit him down. Like, so yes, he does have power. Absolutely. Will it knock out Floyd? I don't think so, and that's because I've watched Floyd for so long, and when he gets in these exchanges, I've seen him not just make people miss, but I've seen him take the hits.
Right.
I've seen Shane Mosley, who had one of the
Oh my God,
best
yeah.
hooks, and he rocked him. Canelo was one of the strongest people in boxing at that
He's
moment,
one of the few people I've seen fight.
he's able to make him miss. So, I mean, yeah, Conor is a strong fighter.
Yep.
He's a taller fighter. And if he could land from the correct angle, he's got a good
could
shot.
happen.
We've seen Floyd get hit by overhand rights from Maidana that people say rocked him. I don't think it rocked him. I think it just kind of like made him like, oh shit,
A little more defensive.
I'm
okay.
open right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh fuck, let me, it put him in check.
Right.
It kept him honest. He's
Right.
like, all right, cool. So I see adjustments that are going to be made. I see them early. Floyd actually said that he's planning on just going straight in. He's not going to try to make a miss. I don't believe that because
When you said that, I didn't believe it.
your instincts are not to get hit.
That's Conor though. Like that's what I think he's saying that because that's what Conor does. So if Conor thinks he's going to be met with the exact same thing he's doing, he might try something different.
Yeah.
But that every fight I've seen Conor just storms right in there.
Yeah.
And takes care of
And one
business.
thing I am going to say, so Floyd has also said, I'm doing it this way, because everyone's like, why are you going to change now?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you're 40, right? Why would you change
Why
that
would
now?
you switch it up for this one fight?
And he's just like, you know what, I think I owe it to the fans because of that Pacquiao fight. It was such a letdown and all that. Now, that's not totally Floyd's fault. If
No.
anything, Pacquiao was more to blame because he didn't talk about that shoulder or whatever. But you honestly got outclassed, Manny. Like, you really did.
It is what it is.
But yeah, you know what, Floyd, I hope, because I feel like I'm one of Floyd's biggest fans.
For
and
sure.
I do hope that you feel like you should just kind of let me make it exciting. Like,
Yeah.
let me just give you a few rounds where I go in there
Right.
and see if I could bang for like
Right.
30 seconds, last
Yeah.
30 seconds
Yeah.
of the match. Get your points, but also but there's Floyd, knowing Floyd, man, he understands if I get in there and if it is just for 30 seconds, I go in there and I just start letting them fly, I am going to leave myself open.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's only going to do that if he's inside.
Yeah.
Because when you're with a taller guy that has more reach, he's not going to be as effective inside.
Inside, yeah, exactly.
So,
that makes sense.
So, in order for him to get inside, though, he might have to take
He's
a
gonna
couple
have to take
shots.
some hits.
And I think he knows that. So, he's expecting to get hit.
Mhm.
Is what I'm trying to say. So I don't feel like it's out of. I don't feel it's out of reach to say that Connor will land some significant shots.
Yeah,
Definitely
I believe it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
There's something else I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember. Oh, just I don't know. Like I want to spend some time on that, but again, because of the way I'm releasing this, the way I'll be leaking this footage.
Yeah, there you go.
Releasing this podcast.
Dude, that drink got my face red. I feel like.
I love this stuff, dude. Caskmates is amazing.
Goodness gracious.
I just want to talk marketing a little bit because that's what we both do.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been. How long have you been doing marketing?
8 years.
Wow, so I figured it was longer than me. So see, I would say I've been doing marketing for about five years. I've been doing marketing. So I think it's interesting to talk about marketing in the day and age that we live because social media is so huge, and not just social media, but SEO, websites as well. It's just the internet itself.
Yeah.
There's so many marketing opportunities, and people either, business owners either miss them all the time. I know this is not a good segue at all, but Connor Floyd beating people
Speaking
up.
of making a miss,
marketing. Oh, that was good.
Owners.
Damn, I should have done that. Next time I'll have you do this. We'll just write them down and put them up here so we can read them off. I'll have you write them down and then I'll read them off so it looks smart. But I think it's interesting how business owners, again, miss the opportunity to use the internet, have a website or have social media. Or I think what's more interesting and honestly very funny to me is how poorly it is used. So many businesses post on social media and have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's funny. What I find funny about it is a social media or even a website, like for a blog, for instance, you're just having a conversation with other people.
Yeah.
But the two problems that I see is people don't understand how the internet works and how you can get yourself in trouble real fast, and it's really easy to do.
Right.
That's the first problem I see. The other problem is that they don't understand that this is a conversation.
Yeah, I think
you just gotta have a normal conversation with people.
I think they overthink it, and I think they feel like, oh, I gotta hire a tech guy to do my social media
and spend a ton of money on him.
And I've dealt with clients that actually tell me that, like,
no way.
I gotta hire a tech guy so that I can get all this together. And I'm like, please don't have your tech guy do your social media because that's probably gonna be.
Or what's worse is the cousin.
Oh yeah.
Or a nephew. Oh yeah, my nephew he did all this stuff for me 3 years ago, and and you haven't had a post since 2012.
Yeah,
so
that's when he stopped it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel you with the social media. So when I say I've been doing marketing for 8 years, it was focused on different aspects.
For sure.
Very first I was doing content creation, blog writing, landing pages, things like that. Then I went into social media, did that for a few years, and then I got into SEO.
Right.
And then little dabbled into the actual creation of the website design.
I really feel like I feel like there could be more money in social media, but right now there is more money in SEO and websites than there is in social media because people just don't get it.
Well, so this is what's weird to me, and let me know if you're strong as your SEO game is strong. Or not your SEO, but your social media.
Yeah, let me stop you.
Sorry. Your social media is strong. So, I feel like when I got out of social media, which might have been like 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
My issue with social media then was that people are overthinking it. I feel like it's still the same problem. They overthink it, or they don't know. They don't know exactly what. They just know I should be on social media, but they don't know how. Like you're saying.
My issue is that, and you're right, they do overthink it. But the problem with most people, and myself included, when you start overthinking social media, then you get lazy and you don't do anything because you're overthinking. Like, is this okay to post? Am I gonna get feedback, bad feedback, or what's gonna happen? Like when you 10 times out of 10, when you overthink what you're going to post on social media, you just don't post it. Yeah. Because it's the internet and people are going to make fun of you there. And, what's going to happen is if you overthink it and think about all the ways it could go wrong, you'll be like, you know what? Fuck it, I don't want to do this anyways. It's not worth all this stress.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. the biggest problem that I have with business owners themselves on social media is that, and I get it, and I've told business owners this many times, like, I get it, your product is your life, like, this is your baby, whether it's some thing that you made, or it's some, it's some product you created, or it's a service that you offer, and you've been doing it for 10 years, or 2 years, or 6 months. It's your passion, it's your baby, and I get it, and I respect that, but the internet does not.
Right.
And if all you ever post on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever you are, if all you're ever posting is, hey, I built this fence. Hey, I made this new product that makes your life easier. Great. But if you're posting every single day, or just 2 or 3 times a week, and that's all you're posting is rewording how your product or your service is great, either you're not going to get followers, you're going to have to buy followers, or the people that do follow you are going to unfollow you or unsubscribe or unfriend. Why? Because it's boring. Find a way to transcend just talking about your product and be able to tell people, I'm funny, or we have a great office atmosphere because we play pranks, or whatever it is. One of my favorite brands, and I only follow them on Snapchat, and it is a weird name, so bear with me, Chubbies. It's these like shorts, that's what it is.
Okay.
And they are so funny on Snapchat. They're hilarious. And it's just skits. What do you think?
Nice.
Snapchat, what do you have? 10 seconds?
Yeah.
That's Instagram. Is Snapchat 10 seconds as well now too? I think it's 10 seconds.
I think it was 9.
9.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
9 seconds. I'm the guy that should know this shit. So you have 9 seconds to get your point across. Well, they don't just do 9 seconds. Like, they let it go in, like, it'll be 3 or 4 snaps in a row. But I'm telling you, they're hilarious.
Right.
Have I bought any of their products? Not yet, but I will, because they caught my attention, actually, with a Facebook ad, interesting enough. And they're interactive. So that's the problem that I have, to bring it back around, is that people, they want to just constantly push their product, and I respect it, and I get it, but no one else is going to, and no one is going to buy your shit if all you talk about is your shit.
Right.
And then there's on the other side of that coin, there's a lot of, there's the big celebrities that don't respond to anything or talk to anyone, and some of them actually do. The Rock actually posted something pretty poignant this morning, and he responded to quite a few people on his Instagram post. But there's the big ones that don't respond to anyone ever, and I get that. If you have 1,000 comments on every post, you just don't respond. I get it. Mm-hmm. But there's the in-between, where there's the 25 comments and the 15 comments, 50 comments, or, interact with people.
Yeah.
You're not that big a deal.
Yeah.
That bugs me.
So what do you say then to the client that calls you and just doesn't think that you're pushing their services or product enough?
That's a tough one, because I have quite a few clients that I just give them what they want. Yeah. And they continue to pay me. Yeah. And I think you have to come to some kind of a catharsis. You've got to get to a point where, because I'm able to kind of balance that out, because I have a few clients, I'd say 2 or 3 clients, where I have some freedom. I think the answer to that, you have to, if you're really passionate about social media, you have to find in yourself. And that answer is get more clients, so that you can satisfy your need to post good, relevant, shareable content, along with not shitty content, but the same content over and over and over again. Why? Because you need a paycheck. So if you're at a place where, if you're doing it for, if you have a 9 to 5, which I do as well, if you have a 9 to 5 where you have to do that, then guess what? You've got to do what they tell you to do. Yeah. Can you innovate? Can you talk to your boss? Can you have meetings? Can you try to make their social media better? Absolutely, and please do that. However, you've got to go with the flow. And then if you can get yourself some stuff on the side to do, and even your own personal. Like, I don't think that my content is incredible, but my personal content I think is good, shareable content. So I'm able to kind of satisfy that need to put out good content via my own social media, and the 2 or 3 clients here and there that give me the freedom to just kind of post things that are relevant and ongoing. I have a client, an MMA client, and if I send him something and say, dude, this is, because I'll go back to The Rock because that's my guy, but he had a video that went, technically everything he posts is viral, because he has way too many followers. Yeah. But he had one that went a little crazy, because I saw it on several other Instagram accounts. And it was just that, it was in Toronto. He posted a video selfie in Toronto, and he was talking about how he loved that city and he'd done films there, but the first time he ever visited was with like the Canadian Football League or something, and it was his first technically pro football game, and he got cut the next week from the football team, and he said that was the best thing that never happened to me was playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right. The guy's making truckloads more money than he would ever make playing in the NFL. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So,
And that's awesome.
I don't know
for him
what.
to
Oh,
share that.
yeah. What I was saying with that was I texted my client and I was like, dude, this shit is popping up everywhere. We need to post it. He said, okay, post it. So fine. I think the answer is you can't make everyone happy, which is not a fun answer to hear. But that's my answer is if a client says, hey, you're not pushing my stuff enough, then push their stuff more. And get yourself another 2 or 3 clients. Get in some Instagram direct messages. Follow some people, not literally or maybe literally, whatever it takes. But like, find yourself a couple more clients that will give you a little more freedom. And do this. Find a client or find someone. I have right now. I haven't got admin access yet for the one client, but I have one client out of Detroit, and she's a singer, incredibly talented. She actually texted me right before the podcast. Incredibly talented. She did a cover of Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka, but it was like a screamy version. Super, super off-putting to a lot of people that I've showed it to, but I loved it. Anyway, she's a very, very talented musician, singer, I should say, and she's not paying me anything right now, but I can post. I wouldn't say whatever I want, but within reason. Pentatonics dropped a new song. I posted that for her. She loved it. She thought it was great. So, she posted something on Instagram that was her in the studio. I just took a screenshot, put kind of a logo on it, and posted it. She thought it was great. So, you're not always going to find clients that will pay you, so to speak. But find clients that you like where they're going or you like what they're doing and they need help, and reach out and say, hey, I'd like to work for you. So you might have 2 or 3 clients, and all 3 or all 2 of them they only want you to push their business. Find that balance. Find someone that'll let you do it for free or for next to nothing, and post good shareable content. That's going to do 2 things for you. It's going to satisfy what you're talking about. It's going to satisfy that need of, hey, I'm tired of putting out shit content for this client.
Yeah.
Number 1, and number 2, it's going to it's going to strengthen your portfolio. So when you go to someone to pitch them your services on social media, you don't have to say, well, this guy doesn't pay me anything, but hey, I post good. No, you say, look, this is one of my clients. I post great content for them. You want to know how good I can do? Check out this person. This is one of my clients. And whether they pay you or not, if you're posting for them, you're their client.
Yeah.
And I also do what I would call consulting. Like, I've pitched a couple. Oh, that was the one we were going to do. Dan Henderson's gym. Yeah, you know already. We're just calling out. I am calling out motherfuckers left and right on this podcast. But I've pitched Dan Henderson's gym, which is literally across the street from where I work. I've pitched them a couple times, and Matt actually helped me with the last pitch, pitching them SEO for their site. No hard feelings. Some hard feelings. Just kidding. But I say when I try to get a new client, because I have a couple clients that are in the MMA industry. When I try to get a new client, I tell them, like, I have these couple clients that do MMA, and then I've also consulted with, and I talk about people that I've given pitches to, or maybe posted for once or twice.
Yeah. Because
that is consulting. So, yeah, that was a longer rant and a longer answer than probably you were looking for, but to set that up, like, that would be my answer, is just find more clients. And it's more doable than you would think.
Okay.
So, that would be my answer to that. But as far as, and again, your expertise, your forte, I would say, is actually absolutely is SEO. And I've seen you do it, and you've helped me with clients before. I know that quite well. But that would be, I would have a similar question for you. Like, what if someone is starting? This would be a good one. If someone's starting from scratch, let's say they have a construction business, or they have whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to have a website.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But can you speak to that and say, and again, like you said, hire a tech guy and have him do your social. Well, it's not a good idea because they're 2 different animals. But my question to you would be, and I believe, but I don't do SEO, how important is it that they have a website, number 1? And number 2, can you like, yes, I mean, we both want money, we want more clients, but to someone that's just starting out or is maybe they've had a business for the last 20 years but never have a website, and now realize, like, I need to have a website. Should they have a website, number 1, no matter what they're doing? And how hard is that to do? Can they do it themselves?
You should absolutely have a website. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, no matter what your niche is, have that website. If you think you're doing well without one now, imagine all the business you're actually missing out on if you were to have one, because that's just where people are searching nowadays. So it's less about you and how well you're doing right now, just being a brick and mortar, word of mouth, whatever.
That was the next word I was gonna say. I get tired of hearing that.
But that's exactly what having with what SEO, social media, all that is just a digital form of word of mouth.
Bam.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So absolutely have that done. Is it easy to get a website? Yeah. You know what? It's much easier now than it was back in the day. Because before we used to use like freaking Dreamweaver, and you had to know codes, and you had to, people that even did it before then were using freaking. Oh my gosh! It was a whole other language. It was a whole bunch of code, and it was like.
When I say hate it, I used it like once,
and that was enough
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, I totally agree. I was forced to use it for about a year at least.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then I was just like, dude, this is uncalled for. Like,
no, it's terrible.
So it's a lot easier now.
Okay.
Now you'll find some drag and drop options from companies like Wix or, there's other ones. Wix is probably the biggest one that allows you that feature.
I think Squarespace.
Squarespace does the same thing. I personally feel like there are limitations, especially to Wix, because I've worked with Wix a lot. SEO. Can
you speak to that? Because in my mind, what I'm thinking is it's more of a landing page kind of thing. But can you speak to that? What is a landing page, or why? Excuse me. You see that Wix has Wix.
Hey now.
Wix.com.
Let's see what that's about.
Oh, I don't even want to know what that
Jamie,
is.
look that up.
Yeah, get on that. But what are its limitations, and can you explain a landing page? And tell me if I'm wrong. Like, no, it's not a landing page site. I don't know.
I'm not gonna say it's a landing page type of site, because you could definitely add more pages. You're welcome to have drop downs and everything like that. It's great. You can, if you're just looking for a website to look good, you can use Wix.
Okay.
You can. But if you want your website to rank, though, it's gonna be difficult to use a Wix website that'll actually rank you. So that way, when people are searching not for StuartHardy.com, but social media in whatever area, Temecula, Marietta, things like that.
So your service in your city.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they'll have a hard time finding you. And it's only because there are so many keywords that you can use, or key phrases, different phrases that mean the same shit. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking for social media in Temecula, I might also be looking for someone to do my Facebook in Temecula. Yeah, exactly. So those are the other keywords that you're probably not going to hit, only because Wix will allow you to have one key term to fix your meta descriptions and your.
So per page you only have one, or per site you only have one?
Dude, when I was working with it heavy, it was like per site.
Whoa!
So it might have changed. Forgive me, it might have changed. I don't want Wix like beating on my door, messing up my reputation. But I'm just saying, they might have worked their way up to that.
But still.
Yeah, but there was always limitations. So.
Okay. So to put that in perspective, we're talking about one keyword or one phrase they can type in to find your site. Right. Whereas, give them the complete opposite. Would it be WordPress?
WordPress, yeah.
And then how many could you have? Is it unlimited, or is there
yeah. I mean, you can have. Let's just say you have a list of, let's just call it 50 keywords that you want to target, right?
Damn.
So you could change different in your title tags or your meta descriptions, which is basically, so you know what that is when you're looking up anything on a Google search. Let's say you'll have like a short description of what that site is or what that page is.
It's beneath it'll say the title of the site, and then beneath it, it'll have that meta description.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when you see the title of the site, it might say, Stuart Hardy, and then it'll say social media, and then it'll say Facebook, or it might have a different variation of it, right? So that's what you're able to change. Now let's say I want only my Facebook page of my website to rank for Facebook in Marietta. That then will point that page. That's where we're gonna have the Facebook titles, Facebook meta descriptions.
Gotcha.
So when they find this through a Google search, it all corresponds with each other. It's not going to say just social media in general. Mm-hmm. It'll be specific to what they're looking for.
Gotcha.
The object of the game is you don't want to have your clients or whoever's searching for you, you don't want them to dig so much for what they need.
Because they're not going to. It's the internet. They're going to go to the first page. If they don't find you, then they're done. Yeah. Or not necessarily don't find you. They're going to stay on the first page. Unless everything on the first page is shit, which is rare.
Right.
They're
they're done. Like, they'll find what they need on that first page.
Yeah.
So you need to be there.
Yeah.
That's why you want multiple search terms. You want to be able to be found for multiple search terms. Otherwise...
And you want multiple pages of your
Yes.
site to be found for those multiple search terms.
Right.
So in other words, you don't want of those 50 keywords that we
You
have
want them
listed,
all going to your homepage.
you don't want them all going to your homepage.
Right.
You want them to be like, hey, this deserves my Facebook. This deserves my Instagram. This deserves. Why do you need social media in the first place?
Right,
There's
right.
a page specifically for that. And so, you know, the way people are searching now, especially with mobile, is people are asking questions.
Absolutely.
And so you want to be able to answer those questions that you know they're going to have even before they get to type that shit in. Because they're going to check out, you know, who can I hire to do my Facebook? And then they're going to find that. But then while they're looking at your stuff, I'm like, do I even need this anyway?
Right. You need to
Why
talk
do
to-
I need Facebook?
And then bam, you're going to show up
But
again.
it's already there. It's already there.
Yeah,
buddy. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
it,
So
dude.
you don't even have to bounce off of this page. Everything you need is right there.
Right.
And so that's the goal.
Can you speak to the
SEO.
bouncing as well? Because in my understanding, if someone doesn't find what they want on your page, I mean, well, not in my understanding. We've all done this. You search your question on Google, whatever it is. You see a search result that looks right. You click on it. You go there, but doesn't really answer your question. So you're there for 2 seconds. You scroll through real quick. Obviously, this isn't what I want, and then you leave that site.
Yeah.
And that is. Can you explain to people how that's bad?
Yeah, so that's what you just explained is what's called a bounce rate. So if you're in the analytics of your website, you'll start to see like, oh, my bounce rate is at 80% right now. Why? So you can go, there's a place where you can kind of check out the flow of where people are finding you and say, oh, they did a search on this, they got to this page, and then they bounced out. So whatever that page is that they're bouncing on, we know that it's not offering them enough.
Right.
So we've got to change the content. Maybe all the content is there, but it's
It
all
needs a different keyword, maybe.
or just organize that shit.
Yeah.
You know, it might be just 1, 2, 3 paragraphs
Got you.
with no, you know, sections into it. You know, let people, like I said, you don't want them to dig too much.
Right.
So if you have little sections that say why, who, what, when, you know, and you just have a little section of each one,
Right.
it's much easier.
It's easier
for
to
them
navigate.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I just wanted to speak to that because, like I said, I don't know SEO. You know SEO. I know it to an extent, but not extensively, so to speak. So that's, and I mean, I think it's important for, you know, I'm gonna have people hopefully that are seeing this that have their own business or someone that's thinking about starting their own business. And I wouldn't say the best way to get started is having a website, but it doesn't hurt to make that part of your you know, your business formulation. Like, you know, we have a brick and mortar or whatever we have, or we have, you know, I have a warehouse, or my shit nowadays people's houses are their warehouse. I think you know, I follow several clothing brands on social media, and either they have a tiny warehouse and they put out great clothes, but like they have a tiny warehouse, or their warehouse is their house. You know, so if you're gonna get started, man, have a website. And yeah, even if you got to start out with Wix, which is spelled W-I-X, if anyone's actually gonna search for it and use it. W-I-X. Yeah, that was some good whiskey. You know, have a website, and even if you can't have a website, at least have a Facebook page. You've got to have your online presence started someplace. And like you said, I loved that. I probably try to work this into the title, but digital word of mouth. Like, yes, word of mouth is great, but you go into a restaurant or you walk down the street and you tell me the ratio of people talking to each other to people looking at their phones. And I'm not saying that to shit on us. I think our phones are a great tool. People are going to, until the next thing comes out, wearables, whatever it is, people are going to shit on people being on their phones at a restaurant, whatever. That's fine. That's your opinion. I have mine too. You don't like mine, I don't like yours either. But you can't deny that digital, being able to be found on digital is huge.
Yeah.
And that is the digital word of mouth, is your social media. Because you can interact with people, and you can, you can have a presence there. And again, a website, technically, you won't be able to have your URL, but a website, you can build your own website for free. You can do that. It doesn't cost you. Just like social media, it'll be .wordpress.com, which we can get to another podcast. But still, you can have a website, and it won't cost you anything. Or you can pay $10, $15, $20 a month to have a website. That's what you're paying for Netflix already. Sorry, I got a fly in here.
Yeah.
You know, but it's important to be to have, no matter what. I don't care. I don't care if you're if you do. I met a guy recently at a party does clown. He's like a clown or a character actor for kids parties. Like he needs a website. Everyone needs a website. Like unless unless Uber is your main source of income, I think you should have a website.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, if you have your own passion, your own business, and who knows, shit happens where you're just getting started, or you don't even have merchandise or services yet, but you put out a website or you put out a Facebook page, and someone hits you up because they found you. That shit happens all the time because people need what you have to offer. And I'm not a salesman. I'll say that till the day I die. I suck at sales. I'm not good at it. But I tell you what, if you find me on Facebook or find one of my clients' Facebook pages, I'll talk the shit out of you, and I'll talk you into buying something. Or I'll get you to do it on digital. In person, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But digitally, absolutely. I've gotten clients that way.
Yeah.
I've gotten clients through just interacting with them via Instagram direct message, and bam, here's a client.
Hey. So here's a question that I'm so curious, and I really want to start asking a lot more people. So you have a client, and they're so anxious to just, social media is going to turn my whole presence around, right? What do I do? What do you want me to do, Stu?
Yeah.
What do I do?
So you're my client.
Yeah.
So whatever, here's my whole thesis or theory, I should say, on running social media as a business. You need to have good native content, and what I mean by that is, and again, I don't want shitty content. I don't want what's the word I'm looking for? Vulgar content. We don't want that. But what you do want is content that when you're scrolling through your Facebook or you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, you see one of your friends' posts, and then you see a post from a business. Can you tell it's a post from a business, or does it look like another post from one of your friends? If it looks like another post from one of your friends, if this one looks like this one up here, that business is winning. If it looks like a stock photo of a fucking shoe with a white background, they're losing. So where do you start? If you have an office, introduce me to your office staff. Hey, this is Jill. We just hired her. She's our secretary. Just graduated San Diego State University. She likes dogs. This is a picture of her with her Welsh Corgi. Awesome. Introduce me to your staff. Tell me you got a new there's a friend of mine, more of an acquaintance, that has a martial arts karate studio in is it Temecula or Murrieta? It's Murrieta, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in Murrieta. Michael Robles has Final Strike Martial Arts. If you're listening and you're from here and you have kids, check him out. He's tremendous. But he has, or at one time had, 2 little smart cars that were all decked out with a wrap. Man, post those all the time. If you have a vehicle that has a wrap on it for your business, please post those all the time. Those don't get old. Those are cool. And the way you do that, just a little trick is, post them in front of In-N-Out or whatever local restaurant, Culver's, Cracker Barrel, whatever it is. Post them in front of, or if there's a place that you routinely use, whether it's some place to buy supplies or it's some place to, or it's a bar you frequent, I don't care. Use that vehicle. You spent how much money? Vehicle wraps are expensive. You spend how much money, at least to me, you spend how much money on that wrap, and honestly, it's nice that people see it and can get your number and you put little Bitmojis or whatever on. That's cool, but I feel like it's a waste if you're not also highlighting it on your website and or social media.
That's
so
nice. Good
yes,
point.
so if you have some type of mobile advertising like that, get pictures of it in front of different landmarks in the area or different restaurants or places that you frequent or places you buy services. Introduce me to your office staff. You get some new equipment, whatever it is. You're a CPA firm and you got a new copier. Shit, post a new copier. Do something, have some fun with it. Don't, photograph your genitals on it, but do something fun. You can think of something. You get new equipment, anything new. You have a pizza party for the office. Oh my God, why would you not post that? Tag the name of the local pizza place that you went to. There's other businesses that you're not in This is one of the biggest ones for me. Other local businesses that you're not in competition with. So let's say that you are, you're a martial arts studio, right? And there's a coffee shop that's 2 blocks away, and this for one day only or for 1 week only, they're doing 50% off or grand opening or customer appreciation. If they're not a competitor of yours and they're also another local small business, why in the world wouldn't you repost their content or just post yourself there? Those are the kind of things. there's a lot of shit that goes on online that's really nasty and really terrible, and I get it, especially on social media, and so we tend to steer clear of it. So I get that. But if you're just starting your Facebook, your Instagram, your Snapchat, your Twitter, whatever it is, and you should have all of them if you're a business, yes, Snapchat included. If you're just starting out, make content that isn't sloppy, that isn't vulgar, but mimics the other content that you see from your friends and family online. That's what I want to see. If you're posting content that looks, Photoshop is the word that's coming to my mind, but that's not the right one.
Stock.
That's stock. Thank you. That's stock. That is either is a stock photo, say from your website, or you pulled it and you thought, oh well, this is a picture of what we do, so that's great. No, fuck that. Get an actual picture of one of your technicians, workers, whatever you call them, in the field. Those are great. Those are great images to post as well. So give me native content that looks like someone else's content that I would see. That's a friend of mine, and then. If you're just getting started out, of course, ask that Facebook gives you an option to ask friends and family to go like your page. Instagram, I don't believe has that option built in as of yet, but go through and interact with other similar accounts or even just other local accounts, other local profiles. So if you want to do social media, give me content that mimics content that I'm already seeing that I like. That's good content. And there's I can be an idea guy, and everyone's an idea guy. No one wants to be the money guy or the sales guy. We're all the idea guy, right? But you can come up. Everyone's an idea guy. I think that is one of the easiest things to do, and trial and error. Like I had someone that wanted some help. This is one of my favorite ones. She did. I think it was. It wasn't pressure washing, but like they would put down like cement floors and like do like different kind of designs in them, stuff like that. So it wasn't just like a shit cement floor. It was like, some kind of fucking swirls in it, or it was a tile, real nice tile, something like that. So that's what she did, and she asked for my help, and I was working with her, trying to help her, and I wasn't able to do much for her, but I recall vividly, she had a post with 3 pictures of the cement floor being done, and it was I think it was one was like in process and one was completed, but there were no pictures of anyone working in the images. It was just pictures of, which is fine. But the caption read, "Check out these fresh young teens doing this work." Well, that sounds like a porno to me. So you got to be careful with what you say. But there's trial and error, and someone called her out immediately. Someone commented and said, "What the hell?" And the other problem is there was no one in the picture.
Yeah,
so
what
like,
teens are you talking
yeah,
about?
what teens?
Yeah, yeah.
But again, don't ever say fresh young teens. Just don't do that. But I'm saying there's trial and error. You make a mistake, guess what? You can delete the post. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Put something else up instead. I actually, I don't know if I should say this or not. Not that long ago, I have a client that has a shirt that is very supportive of the current president. And I scheduled out a post I scheduled it out like a week ahead, which I do consistently for clients, and the post went up like a couple days after he refused to kind of like say, yeah, Nazis are not a good call. So that post didn't go well for me. So we all make mistakes. I've been doing this for years. I know what I'm doing. I made a mistake. We all make mistakes. If you're wanting to start your social media but you're afraid of making a mistake, just deal with it. You're going to make a mistake. It's going to happen. It happens every other part of our lives. We make mistakes. So my input is give me good content that looks like it sounds bad, but it's true. Give me good content that looks like everyone else's content. Mm-hmm. Don't give me stock photos. Don't give me just text updates. Give me interesting things that you guys are doing. Did you participate in a fundraiser? Did you do a 5K? Even if the whole office didn't participate, the person that runs the business or even your secretary participated in a 5K. Oh my God, why are you not posting a picture of her in the 5K?
Yeah.
Like, community is huge.
Yeah.
And as much as social media, we tend to, want to shit on this politician or talk about how we believe this about God, that's not all of social media. It can be a great community, and you need to start there. Like, interact with other local businesses, get their information, give them your information, they'll promote you, you'll promote them. Community events, go participate. Even if you don't go participate, share that there is a community event going on and let people know. There's just, my mind's full of things to do.
That's
but,
good, man.
But giving out good content that that mimics other content that's already out there, that's shareable content, it's huge.
I like that. Those were all good tips, dude. I totally agree. You have so much ammo in your office.
You don't even know.
Don't even know.
A stapler, just anything.
Yeah.
There's and the thing that we
got this thing in our office. Just sorry, just real quick.
You're good.
You mentioned stapler. There's this red stapler, and for some reason, it's never in the same spot like where it's supposed to be. So it's like, who the heck?
That's a whole Snapchat story.
Exactly.
You see what you're doing? Like, you can follow the stapler around. Like, oh, where's the stapler today? It's a whole Snapchat story, or it's an Instagram story, whatever it is. Like, you can. There's content everywhere you look, and no one's. Okay, I get it. Like, we're filming this on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's a photographer nowadays, right?
Right.
So be one of those. Get a funky angle. Like, as you know, I work with a lot of dentists. Well, what in the world do I... And I've had that question many times. Well, what do we post? Like, dude, you got a new plant in the office. Get it from a nice angle and talk about the benefits of having a plant in the office.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to do. You had pizza for lunch, or you got a new computer, whatever it is. Like, take it from an interesting... Find a different angle, take a picture, and post it, and talk about what's in the picture.
Yeah.
It's not, and I know I sound frustrated, just because I am. Like, so many people could be posting so many things. Like, there could be so much more relevant, shareable, fantastic content, and people just walk past it every day and don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I did work for, where we both worked for a time at ProSites.
Mm-hmm.
I ran their social media.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a lot of quotes, and then I got tired of that because I wasn't getting the kind of interaction that I wanted.
Yeah.
So they would go to trade shows. They would do sales pitches at trade shows. I asked for pictures from the trade shows so I could post those. I doubt you would remember this, but I took pictures of we had lots of cubicles and offices. I took, of course, not showing any of our clients' information, but I took pictures of everyone's workstations because everyone's got some of these pop vinyls or whatever at their workstation, and I would tag all the, like, I posted yours. You had Lakers and Raiders stuff, so we tagged the Lakers and the Raiders. You know, like, there's a even if you work out of your home, there's still things that you can post. And I'm going to jump back in. Don't ever be afraid to post memes. Memes are currency on social media. And I get they're not professional. Some of them are actual stock photo images with the stock photo watermark on them. Like, I get it. It's not professional. But social media doesn't always have to be professional. If I could say one thing in addition to, like, giving us good relatable, shareable content, post memes. Everyone posts memes.
Interesting. That's a good point.
Everybody needs to do it. I'm sorry. Like, I know that sounds like an internet troll thing to say, and I have been a troll from time to time. I won't deny, but post memes, people.
Wow.
Memes are huge.
Wow.
Why do you think Chill Blinton is an Instagram account? Tank Sinatra. The guy just wrote a book, and he's making tons of money off the book. Yeah, he's got a college degree, but do you know what he posts every day? Memes. That is all he posts. He doesn't post selfies. He doesn't post where he went today. He doesn't post what he ate. It's just memes. And if both our phones weren't being used for recording right now, I'd show you. I don't know how many followers he has. Hundreds of thousands of followers. It's crazy. And it's not just about the followers. He's making money. He's monetizing on that. Why? Because he's funny. He posts memes. And he's dabbled in stand-up. I think he's going to do stand-up again. But I've seen his face very rarely. And if I see his face, it's in a meme that he made of himself. And to be clear, if anyone has questions or wherever I'm going to post this, if you have a question about what a meme is, don't be afraid to message me or ask me in the comments. But literally, you could go to Google and type in meme, or go to Instagram or Facebook and type in meme, and you'll find exactly what I mean. It's everywhere. And guess what? I don't know how much longer it's going to last. Next year it could be some other thing. I don't know.
Just ride the wave, man.
But exactly, dude. You got to ride the wave.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When it comes to social media.
I think that goes back to just not overthinking it.
Exactly.
I mean, there's you don't even have to be the originator.
No.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
You don't.
It's all out there. It's all in your office.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff that happens every day. All the stuff that you're looking at yourself. Share that, man.
Yeah, and if you're looking for more ideas, like I think a great idea is to, again, search your competition.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with websites.
Absolutely.
What is your competition doing? And not necessarily your competition, but people in your vertical, in your lane, they're doing the same kind of business as you are, that are making way more than you, or doing far better than you are. Go find their social. If they're doing a lot better than you, no offense, they most likely have a social media account or two, Facebook and Instagram at least. go find those accounts. Find out see what they're posting. You don't have to post what they're posting, but it's a great jumping off point. It'll give you a good idea. So again, same with the websites. What do their websites look like? Are their websites shit? Guess what? You can probably beat them if their websites are shit.
Yeah.
There's a great chance.
Yeah.
So, well, I think we'll wrap up this podcast. I don't know how long it's gone.
Yeah.
I feel like
you
it's
gotta
gone
get
for a
out of
minute.
here. You gotta train,
Soon,
right?
yeah, and I turned off the AC so it wouldn't kick on, and I'm sweating bad right now because I'm fat. So, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Oh man, I appreciate this.
Absolutely
This
have
is
to have
cool.
you on again.
When is your fight, your match?
The same day as Connor and Floyd.
Oh my gosh, we got 2 big
Yeah,
fights
dude.
that night.
Same weekend, same day. So I have a fight that night, and then Sunday I'm not in a wedding, but I'm going to a wedding. I wish I fit in my only suit I have. I don't fit in it. So, but yeah, dude, the fight is the 26th. It's supposed to be at 11. The
Where's
guys,
it at?
It's at 10th Planet Marietta, which is right by the police station Marietta.
10th Planet
You know where the
Marietta.
police station is, right?
We don't have. That's a different. We don't. Whole other podcast there.
I couldn't resist. No, so it's at 11, and this is inconsequential because this will be posted after. But yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to it, and you know, it's a new little journey, and I'm excited to be on it. And I've told the guys like I said, it's a 10th Planet gym, and I told the guys that run it that I want to continue to train afterwards. So I've needed to. Our mutual friend Emma has bugged me to get into jiu-jitsu. I've rolled with her a couple times, and it was great. I just haven't committed, but this is it. Like, I'm committed to it now. So
Is it because it's no gi? Be honest.
that has something to do with
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's what I told her. I was like, maybe if we didn't have a gi, I think we. Yeah,
Shit.
man.
Yeah, if she hears this, she's gonna be mad at both of us. But
It's
it's
alright.
whatever. And that's part of it. The other part of it is convenience. Like, it is literally, if you punch into GPS, it's 3 minutes from this location.
Oh, okay.
So for me, that's one of the biggest factors. Is like I can go there, you know, and I'll get the hookup, and it's 3 minutes.
Dude, I
away.
definitely want to check it out
So,
too.
we will.
That's awesome.
We will, dude, for sure.
Cool, man. Well, good
Thanks
luck.
again. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Good luck with your whiskey.